Get it on the jet sweep to the short side. Up the sideline. Sam McCaffrey. He is gone.
Intercepted. It is intercepted by the Tigers. Stephen Brogan picks it off for LC.
Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies. Headed to week number 8 along with Tory, Strock. I am Lynn, Groll. Good to have you back with us, folks, as we get ready for our coverage area's week 8 slate. 3 weeks to go here, Coach, as conference races heat up, and you have to start thinking about the playoff picture as well.
That's what I was just going to say. And if coaches tell you they haven't snuck a peek at the playoff picture, they're not telling the truth in most cases. And boy, this weekend went fast. I can't believe we're back at it already.
Well, we did our podcast on Wednesday last week, which may have sped up the week for us a little bit.
Yeah, it's good to be back, though, and looking forward to week 8. God, can't believe it's week 8.
Yeah, thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you to all of you for tuning in each week. And also thank you to our hosts here at American Freedom Energy Grandma's General Store, Millie's. The best wings around, and you could probably say in the nation too, from Ottoville will be here for the tailgate on Friday night with the Delta Panthers in town to face the Liberty Center Tigers. So my wife will be coming over here after work on Friday night about 5:30 and getting me some wings for my lunch on Saturday afternoon.
Well, is she okay with standing in a long line and waiting? Because there will be a line.
She's going to have to. She has no other choice because I want Millie's wings. If she has to stand there for 3 hours, she's going to have to do it. She owes it to me, Coach. She owes it to me.
What if they're sold out?
No, not at 5:30. No. They can't be. If they are, I'm going to not be happy with Greg Badenhop and Glenn Badenhop.
They're going to have to make sure, Glenn and Greg will have to make sure they kind of have a private reserve stash for you.
I want 24 of them.
Will you get that many?
Probably.
You know, you don't even, when we got the smoked wings, they also on certain nights have just regular traditional wings. But they're smoked wings. We got them when we went to Millie's, met Kenny Stabler there.
Yep.
I didn't even get sauce. No sauce. And
but you never get sauce.
No, I don't like sauce. And they were still the best wings I've ever had with no sauce. Think of the best barbecue chicken dinner you've ever had, except in wing form. Oh, my goodness.
What's your go-to sauce if you get sauce, though? And Millie's has an array. Theirs are a little more unique than other places, the franchises that you go to.
Yeah. If I get sauce, if I get buffalo, it would be something mild. I don't like any zing. And I can do barbecue. I like barbecue. But I don't love it on my wings. But I like barbecue sauce.
I do like barbecue, but I don't like it on my wings either for some reason. You ever had Alabama white sauce on your chicken?
No.
You need to try it.
No.
You don't want to try it?
Nope, won't do it. Is it anything like Alfredo sauce?
Not really. It's mayonnaise, salt, pepper.
Nope.
Little lemon juice and vinegar.
Nope, never.
It's a big deal in the South.
Oh, I know.
Big deal in the South. I love chicken dipped in Alabama white sauce.
No.
I don't know if Millie's has that or not, but maybe they need to add it to their repertoire.
They
do fine without any advice from me, so they probably don't need to listen to me. Huh?
Yeah, they've managed, but I'd love to get back there and have those. You're a lucky man.
Well, if you put in your order, my wife can take it for you, and I can give it to you when we get back from Archbold on Friday night. That will be our Gamecast this week as Patrick Henry and Archbold clash. A big Region 22 game there for those two teams. I'm not sure about the league race. Archbold controls its destiny, actually. Yep. They have Liberty Center coming to town week 10.
Yep. Not sure what to think about that one yet. I'll have a better opinion after Friday. I think that this PH Archbold, I know Liberty Center PH a couple weeks ago was the marquee game. This one is razor thin. I think this is the premier game, one of them in the area.
Yeah, we will talk about it here later on our podcast as we get rolling with this week. First, we got to hand out our rock solid performance from week number 7. Going to take a break and come back, and we'll give you our nominees and our award winner.
Hard-working individuals have been the heart of the Gherkin companies for generations. Together we construct the highways and infrastructure that strengthen our communities. Gherkin is seeking rock-solid performers. We offer generous benefits, continuous training, top-notch equipment, and a culture that rewards effort. Want to be part of something big, steady, and stable with room to grow? Whether you're experienced or just starting your career, we encourage you to apply at gherkincompanies.com/careers.
Thank you to the Gherkin Companies, the title sponsor of our podcast again this season in our rock solid performance. Also, folks, please stay tuned to our YouTube channel this week for our KK Collision football show. We will have some outstanding military guys from Columbus Grove with us this week.
Looking forward to that one, Lynn. We talk off the air sometimes, and Andy Schaefer shared a lot with us from about some of those guys, and it's a whole different world. We're sitting here doing this, and there's people like that ensuring our safety and freedom. It's really hard to quantify.
It really is. We are selfish in our ways compared to those folks because they would lay down their lives for you, I, and everybody listening without any problem.
Even if they have a different opinion, they're willing to do that.
That says a lot, and we need to respect those folks.
Yep, absolutely.
Looking forward to our football show, as that will be on our YouTube channel as well. Rock solid performers from week number 7. I have 3 nominees, but go ahead first. Yep.
Okay, I've got a little bit longer list.
Do you?
And I don't know, am I allowed to mention Whiteford?
Well,
even though they're...
You can mention them. They're out of our coverage area, but they did play one of our local teams in Eden last week, a game we had on our Gamecast presented by the Sports Place at Wasiones.
Yep. So I figured attack game. Got to mention Whiteford. I know we talked about them at length on Saturday morning, so Whiteford was very impressive. They're an honorable mention. Wapakoneta, I think most people expected them to beat Lima Shawnee, and they delivered. But they delivered in impressive fashion against a one-loss Shawnee team whose only blemish was to an undefeated.
That was 14-7, okay, but it was a lot different than that. It was dominance.
It was dominance against a good Shawnee team, so Walpock was rock solid. The fashion in which Toledo Central Catholic rolled over St. John's Jesuit, I thought was pretty rock solid. The Anna Rockets, they were a rock solid performer a few weeks back, right?
Yes, they were.
They didn't just beat Versailles, a team that almost beat Marion Local. They spanked them. Anna was rock solid. The Patrick Henry Patriots, I thought, were rock solid in a tight victory over Delta. They found a way to get it done late, and that's what rock solid teams do. But my pick, and you have all veto powers, Mr. Groll, my pick is the Clay Eagles and what they did on the road at Schaller Stadium, slaying one of the giants in the Buckeye Division, Anthony Wayne.
We're 0-5 against Anthony Wayne going into that game.
Ooh, did not know that.
I'll throw another one out there for you that you missed. Eastwood over Oak Harbor.
Yes, I can't believe I didn't write that one down.
Held Oak Harbor under 10 points for the first time in 44 games. First time that's happened to Oak Harbor in 44 chances.
You think about their offense, and I'm guilty of that myself a lot of times. Forget about that defense, right? And that's pretty stellar. So I would be all aboard on that one too, for sure.
Eastwood's going to get another chance this week against Genoa. If they beat Genoa, unless somebody really jumps off the radar, Eastwood gets the rock-solid performance for Week 8, if they beat Genoa.
Okay, what if they beat Genoa, but Lipsick upsets Liberty Benton?
I said, if there's no other big upset or big win this week. That's my caveat. But if Eastwood can pull off another one against Genoa, they're the leader in the clubhouse unless something crazy happens. here coming up on Friday night. But I like Clay.
Do you?
Because it seemed like they kind of got into a funk here as of late, and then they go into Schaller Stadium, which is a tough place to win, and picked up the win over Anthony Wayne.
You know, and for our listeners, and this is the unadulterated truth, we don't discuss this ever beforehand, and so it's always interesting. Our lists are normally pretty similar, and I think we both kind of lean the same way. I'm disappointed myself, though, the Eastwood and
well, that one was kind of iffy because they got to win this week.
Yeah.
They're going to have to win again this week. I'm sorry, Coach Cotterman and Eastwood, but if you get another one this week and another big NBC game, okay.
I like it.
We will do it, but
I like it.
You got to keep playing.
I'd agree with that.
You good with that?
I love it.
Congratulations to Coach Pennington and Clay, our Week 7 rock solid performance courtesy of the Gherkin Companies. Robbie Myers is going to have to make the trip to Oregon himself because I have some other obligations on Thursday night, and I know Robbie can't go earlier in the week, so Robbie's going to have to make that trip himself. I have some more important business to deal with on Thursday night.
And I know what that is, and I think it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, can't miss that.
Can't believe Robbie's not here.
Well, we're a little earlier. He's probably still working. Well, good point.
At his place of employment.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's be careful how we use that word.
For sure, Coach. But Clay gets our rock solid performance from week number 7. Last week, things have changed. And I brought the wrong stats a week ago, so you're actually winning the pick'ems. I made a mistake last week. I jotted down the wrong info. You were 36-5. I was 32-7 last week. You are now 245-55. I'm 236-55. So you got a 4.5 game lead on me here with 3 weeks to go.
Normally, Lynn, the old Coach Strock would be getting a little lippy and a little mouthy. I'm a new man now. I'm not, you know what, never too high, never too low. I'm just staying even keel. I'm just going to keep my head down and work because you get a little lippy, you get knocked off. Isn't going to happen.
Okay, all right. Let's go into week number 8. Going to start in the non-conference. Toledo Christian, they're on a roll, have won 4 straight, posted back-to-back shutouts. In doing that, they are hosting Hardin Northern, who is coached by Jerry Cooper, who we know very well from this area.
I think that's super interesting. You know, Jerry Cooper, he's kind of call him like a journeyman. Like, you know, there's coaches, you know, Mike Vickers and Jerry Cooper, guys that have coached a lot of different places that just can't live without it. They love the game. Jerry Cooper's one of those guys, and I give him a lot of credit. He took on a program that didn't have a full cupboard. You know, and so he knew it would be an uphill climb. They're rebuilding Hardin Northern, a proud program, and so I give Coach Cooper a ton of credit. But
if Jerry Cooper and Pete Bruno, back in their prime, duked it out, who do you like in that matchup?
Not even.
Would Jerry have any chance?
No.
Okay.
Pete Bruno would just devour him, and that's no disrespect to Coach Cooper because he's a scrapper.
Yeah, I know. That's why I ask. I just wanted to.
And Jerry Cooper has always reminded me, almost to a T, of Jerry Glanville. Mm-hmm. They are clones. Like, if you look at Jerry Cooper, you're like, that looks like a younger Jerry Glanville. And but Coop's unbelievable football coach, and but Toledo Christian, they're going to get to 2 games over 500 Friday night. They're going to move to 5-3 after kind of treading water there a little bit. I like Toledo Christian.
Eagles are 12th in Region 26. They have the last playoff spot at the moment, and I like TC as well in that matchup. I think they continue to roll, and Coach Skeels has coached them up and his staff, and the Eagles are playing good football here at the end of the season. Also in the non-conference this week, Southview, 27th in Region 6, is at Start, who is 3-4, 19th in Region 6. Southview has lost 6 straight since winning that Battle of Sylvania over Northview in Week 1. These two teams have not played since 2012. Start 3-4, Southview 1-6. I don't know what to make of this one.
Funny you said that. I have 8 games starred in red ink. Those are ones that I think are 50-50 games. This is the first of the 8 I have starred, Lynn. I think most years on paper, you wouldn't even bat a lash, you'd say Southview. Where are they, not only health-wise, but when you're 1-6, where are you mentally?
Yeah. Lost 14-0 to Clay in week 2, and then last week they played Fremont Ross tough. Went through that gauntlet of Whitmer, Findlay, and Perrysburg, and didn't put on much of a fight, and then went to Napoleon and got shellacked there, 42-8. But they hung in there with Clay, and they hung in there with Fremont Ross. I don't know. What Southview team are we going to get?
I know.
Are they still interested at this point with where their season has went?
I like the way you said that. Are they still interested? Because again, we're dealing with teenagers here, right? They're not, NFL guys making millions. They go to work. It's a job for them.
Yeah.
And but at the high school level, there's other things that can take your mind away from it.
Then I look up on the start side. They beat Clyde, convincing fashion, 30-13. Beat Waite, who's 3-4, and then Rogers, who is 0-7. And Clyde's a team that is hard to figure out as well. Lost by 10 to Bellevue. Got shellacked by Start. Played Ashland, who's 7-0, pretty tough. Lost by 30 to St. Francis de Sales. Beat Port Clinton. Lost to Perkins big time, 63-14, and then they knocked off Milan Edison a week ago, 27-10. Now, I know Edison's stud running back, the Whitmer kid, is injured. He got hurt a couple weeks ago, so they don't have him. Edison maybe not the same team, but Clyde's usually a pretty good team, but maybe not as much this season.
No. Clyde win holds water for me, but I went back and forth on this, and I highlight, the teams I like, and I left this one blank for the better part of the day.
I'm picking Coach Hardy and the Cougars. That's who I got.
And as you're going through some of that stuff, I almost flipped, but I highlighted Southview, and I'm going to stick with Southview. I just think, and I'm not saying it's going to be pretty or easy, but Southview's going to get a turnover or two and find a way to get it done. I like Southview too.
Coach Hardy, come on. Got to get me one here. And you too, I guess.
Yeah, I almost lean to Start. Southview's more of a known quantity to me.
Yeah,
so
and I just don't know where Southview is at as far as the injury front.
I know.
After that brutal stretch that they kind of went through. Yeah. Also in the non-conference this week, 8-man action. Holgate is going up to Concord, Michigan. Concord is traditionally a very tough Michigan program. I'm not picking this.
Yeah.
You are. Give me your pick here, Coach.
Yeah, it's harder to find information on some of these teams. I was looking at Concord's schedule, Max Preps or wherever I was today, looking at that, and trying to make sense of certain wins and losses and so forth. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Henry County team. I'm going to go with Holgate to get it done.
Okay.
And I'm just guessing.
Okay. Northern Lakes League going to start in the Cardinal Division this week. Napoleon, they're on a tear, 5-2, 2-0 in the conference, 4th right now in Region 14 in Division 4. They are at Bowling Green, who's 2-5, 0-1 in the division so far. The Bobcats 23rd in Region 10 at the moment. BG won 24-14 last year at Buckenmeyer Stadium. Napoleon giving up just 12.7 points per game now. Napoleon averaging 236.7 yards rushing per game, led by 868 from Hayden Groll and 176 from George Eggers. Groll has 9 TDs. Eggers has 4. Napoleon has attempted just 53 passes all season. So they went to the ground and pound approach, and it's working well with that two-headed monster they have back there. And you can also throw Kelby Parsons in the mix if he wants to run it.
Yep, I would agree. And the thing last year about that game is Bowling Green kind of bullied Napoleon in that game.
They did.
And then we turn around and see them, a couple weeks later get bullied by Defiance in the playoffs.
Did they?
They did. And but But Napoleon, I love the fact that they're running the football effectively. And the old run game, along with your defense, it travels. And it's only fitting that the weather's going to turn a little bit this week, because I've never coached a game in Bowling Green, Ohio, where it wasn't absolute gale force winds, sleet, rain. It ain't going to be that Friday, but it also isn't going to be like it has been. But give me the Wildcats. The mark of a solid football team is consistency, in my opinion, and they've been super consistent with that run game. Give me the Wildcats.
I think Napoleon runs for about 300 this week.
If they want to.
I think they will, and I got Napoleon. Look at Glenn Badenhop. You see that shirt he's got on there? Just posing over there proud as a peacock.
He looks good. I'll be honest with you.
Did you see that? Did you see his logo on that shirt, though?
I saw it when he walked in. He was kind of walking a little taller.
Well, you look the part.
You look the part, Hopper. Even the hair looks fresh.
Yeah.
You just get that cut? Look pretty good.
He's got a black Swamp Football polo on. He's
Nike. Represent. People might mob you, Hopper. They might mob you wearing that shirt. Or they might shout obscenities at you wearing that shirt. I don't know.
Oh, that's great. That's good stuff right there.
Looks good.
Let's move over to the Northern Lakes League, the Buckeye Division. Clay coming off that big win. And they have Perrysburg in town. The Jackets 4th in Region 1, 6-1, 2-0 so far in the division. Clay 4-3, 1-1, 10th in Region 6. Perrysburg has won the last 10 versus Clay, which last beat Perrysburg all the way back in 1993.
Wow.
Did they reverse that trend?
We'll pick this one, and then we'll rewind and get Fremont Ross Springfield in the
Oh, yep.
Cardinal.
I'm sorry. Yep.
I'll tell you what, Perrysburg, clear favorite on paper, but I think their antennas are up the road to Clay. Clay's got some youth, but boy, they've got to have confidence after beating Anthony Wayne last week. This one may be a little closer than it otherwise might have been had Clay not beaten AW. I like Perrysburg on the road, but I think Clay will show up.
I like Perrysburg as well. Let's rewind to that other Cardinal Division game. Forgive me for skipping over that one. Glenn came in here with that shirt, and I was just amazed.
I know. I felt the same.
Yeah. Fremont Ross 4-3, 1-0, and the Cardinal 14th in Region 6, so 2 spots out of the last playoff spot. Springfield is 3-4, 1-1, 18th in Region 6. Play a game that Fremont Ross has to have for their playoff hopes and also their division hopes as well.
Yeah, and for me, which this doesn't mean anything to anyone, but in order for me to feel like next week Fremont Ross has a chance against Napoleon, next week, right?
I can tell you.
I think
that's right.
I think Ross hosts Napoleon next week.
It is, yep.
God, week 9 already.
Yep.
Good Lord. In order for me, in any way, shape, or form, to believe that Fremont Ross is going to have a fighting chance against Napoleon next week, they need to show well against Springfield. I know a win's a win, but limping out of there 14-10 isn't going to do it. That means they're going to get bulldozed in a week against Napoleon. So I like Fremont Ross to win this football game, but we'll see where they're at in relation to Napoleon by how they play.
Take the Little Giants in that matchup as well. All right, let's go back to the NLL Buckeye Division. Finley at Whitmer this week. The Trojans 5-2, 1-1 in the division. 3rd in their region. Whitmer is 6-1, 2-0, and the Buckeye 5th in Region 1.
I think this has potential to be a close football game. I like Whitmer to win it, but I think Finley showed last week they're a contender, and maybe if they get a turnover and maybe a special teams play or two, they might be there late in this game, but I'll take Whitmer.
I'm taking Whitmer, too, in that matchup. I think they have a little too much with that running game that they have showcased this season. Northview is at Anthony Wayne as the Generals try to bounce back. Anthony Wayne needs to get it rolling here. after the loss against Clay, but they're still 5th in Region 6 right now are the Generals. Anthony Wayne has allowed a measly 13 points to Northview in the last 8 meetings between these two schools.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me in the least, and Friday night's not going to be a whole lot different. Anthony Wayne's going to have a chance to get healthy and lick their wounds a little bit, but they'll roll at home Friday night over Northview.
I'll take Anthony Wayne as well in that matchup. NWAL, the game that we're calling on our Gamecast, presented by the Sports Place at Wauseon Ace. Patrick Henry at Archbold, a huge Region 22 game this week for these two teams. Both teams come in it at 6-1 overall. PH 3-1 in the NWL. Archbold is 4-0 as they still have title hopes with Liberty Center coming to town in a couple weeks. And Patrick Henry will be a big Archbold fan in that one if they can get the win over Archbold on Friday night. That could really throw a clinker in the NWL race if Archbold was somehow able to upset LC in the finale.
Well, what I'll say about this one, and number one is I'm tickled to death that we're calling this game. I'm super excited. Patrick Henry is the real deal. I'm just telling you. Liberty does what Liberty does, and they're going to do that to a lot of teams. I still think that game was closer than the score. Delta is formidable. Patrick Henry found a way to win that one. How do they handle Archbold's balance? Archbold's super balanced. Against Liberty, you know you pretty much have to load the box and stop the run. Archbold, they're going to spread you out, make you defend the entire field, and then if you're given too much cushion, they're just going to dink and dunk you and let their guys make plays in space. We'll see how PH handles that. And then we'll see how Archbold handles the Patriots. PH showed over here against Liberty they can throw the ball. And if Reed Kreger is back, I think he missed the last 2 games. But if Reed's back and you plug him in there with Schwab and Priggy and Holloway, who's an outstanding receiver, but I think that's one of Archbold's strengths. I think one of their strengths is on the back end. I think that's a great matchup.
Yeah, and Archbold's been gashed a little bit by opponents rushing in games over 1,000 yards for foes on 211 attempts. PH has been much better against the run this season up front. They've allowed 607 yards rushing on 205 attempts and just 579 through the air. PH's defense has been a little bit better than what Archbold has been this season. We saw Delta kind of have their way at times in the running game against the Streaks. Ryder Ryan, 745 yards rushing, 9 TDs for Archbold. Morgan Harris, 444 yards, 7 touchdowns receiving. Quarterbacks Maddox Penner, 86 of 128, 1,046 yards for the Streaks. PH, a little more balanced with their attack this season. Cal Schrader, 498 yards, 13 touchdowns. Jaden Rudder, 476 yards, 8 TDs for him. And then Tristan Rosebrook, 91 of 138 for 1,168 yards and 6 TDs so far this season.
Yeah, that's, I don't even know. Curious what Fantastic 50 says. I have not looked at that. Archbold Patrick Henry. Archbold, okay. Fantastic 50 likes Archbold by 4 with 60% certainty. Could be a 4-point game. Could be less.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
The winner going to be close to locking up a bye in the playoffs, probably.
I would agree with you. I would agree. That Patrick Henry win over Delta last week was enormous for them. And that could have gone the other way.
Right.
You know, they had to... They had to score with a few minutes left to get it done. So you gotta like where you're at if you're the Patriots right now.
Yeah, maybe not the last time we see these two teams meet here in 2025 as we get into the postseason, and both of them part of Region 22. Brian, they are at Wauseon. Brian 2-5. 1-3 in the NWL, 20th in Region 14. Got a lot of work to do there, and Wauseon still winless. Obviously, Wauseon has a huge uphill climb if they have any chance of the playoffs, and I don't know that they do here with 3 games left and just the top 12 getting in this season. But I like Wauseon to get win number 1 in this matchup.
Well, Lynn, this is, and I can't believe, I don't know if it's ever been done, has an 0-7 team ever been the lead pipe lock? I don't know that it has been, but today it is. My lead pipe lock of the week. Book this one. Wauseon, 0-7, gets it done. They beat the Bryan Golden Bears.
Okay. Lead pipe lock. What's the spread on that game? I just want to verify something here. I want to make sure this isn't too big of a spread here.
Archbold, okay, Wauseon and Bryan.
Because I can negate.
Okay. Fantastic 50 likes Wauseon by 10.
By 10?
Fantastic 50.
Double-digit favorite. I don't kind of questioning if that can be a lead pipe lock. A 10-point spread by the experts.
But the little caveat is they're 0-7. How does anyone have the courage to take an 0-7 team as a lead pipe lock? I think it's pretty gutsy of me.
I'll let it slide this week.
Thank you, Lynn.
Even though I think you could go with some other games. I'm a little iffy on that one. I don't know. I think you're kind of taking an easy way out because that's a 10-point spread. I think we're going to have to put a stipulation that has to be 5 or less going forward for lead pipe locks, according to Fantastic 50. But I'll let it go this week, just because I like you. Just because I like you.
I will say this: if anything else jumps up at me, I was going to make Eastwood.
I don't want to make you redo your picks here,
right.
Rethink. I don't want to put too much on into that brain of yours.
That might fire up the Golden Bears, though.
It could, but I like Wauseon too in that matchup, and Fantastic 50 does too, and they're rarely wrong. Drew's rarely wrong.
No, they're right on. Yeah, a lot of times.
Evergreen trying to get back on track. They're at Swanton this week, who is still winless on the season. Evergreen is 12th right now in Region 22, but the Vikings going to get a win in this matchup at Swanton.
Yep, no doubt about it. And if you're Swanton, just just try to take a step forward, get better, avoid the running clock, whatever the goal is.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah. Delta, 14th in Region 18. They are at Liberty Center, who is first in Region 18. And step on out here to American Freedom Energy, Grandma's General Store, before this matchup. You can get some Millie's Wings, as we mentioned earlier on our show. LC has the new NWL record with 31 straight league wins. That surpasses Patrick Henry's run there in the mid-2000s that they had. LC has won their last 9 against Delta, and LC has limited Delta to 7 combined points in the last 2 years, which they're doing to just about everybody these days. LC, another big win for the Tigers. They roll.
Yeah, and, Delta plays a physical style of football, obviously. And so when you play that style, you get banged up along the way, even if you're a good team. It asks a lot of the players to lay it on the line like that every Friday, and boy, they're going to get Liberty's best shot. Give me the Tigers. I'll be curious if Delta can run the ball. It's kind of like Otsego. I mean, it's either feast or famine. They're not going to come in and go 5 wide and try to surprise you. They're going to do what they do. Can they have success against Liberty like they did against Archbold?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Delta's going to have to throw it a little bit to move the ball.
Yes, they are.
Otherwise, you might as well run into this wall behind it.
Yeah, and I think they're probably going to have to do it on early downs. And you say, well, you don't want to do that and get behind the chains. Right. Well, Emmerich Fries is a capable thrower.
Yeah, have to kind of get off script a little bit.
I think you have to.
I think to play this Liberty Center defense this season. We're going to take our first break, come back, and talk about the NBC and a big matchup between Eastwood and Genoa this week.
Who says a college degree is the only path to a fulfilling career? At the Gherkin Companies, we offer rewarding livelihoods with or without a degree. Gherkin provides a generous benefits package, continuous training, top-notch equipment, and a culture that rewards effort. We're looking for rock-solid performers to help build and reinforce the region's infrastructure. Whether you have construction experience or are just starting your career, apply now at GherkinCompanies.com/careers.
Ashball Aerial is a fully licensed commercial drone company providing aerial media for commercial, industrial, and agricultural clients throughout Northwest Ohio. Want a different perspective for your events, construction projects, businesses, and more? Call 419-966-3202 or check them out at ashballaerial.com or look us up on Facebook. Stop by the Sports Place at Wassee on Ace for all your back-to-school shoes and fall sports shoes. We have Under Armour shoes in stock for youth through adults. The Sports Place will keep you and your family in style without breaking your wallet. Also, the Sports Place at Wassee on Ace is your new headquarters for sporting goods in Northwest Ohio. Stop in to see our selection of equipment, practice apparel, letterman's jackets, and much, much more. Plus, we offer custom-made t-shirts, embroidery, and other apparel in one convenient location. Visit us at 1495 North Shoup Avenue in Wassee. Welcome back here to American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store for the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Company. Is going to shift it over to the NBC, and there's a giant one there this week as Eastwood goes to Genoa. Both teams 6-1 overall, 4-0 in the conference so far. Eastwood 7th in Region 18, and Genoa is 2nd right now in Region 18. Eastwood held Oak Harbor under 10 points for the first time in 44 games, as I mentioned earlier on in the show. Genoa lost Luke Clement, their outstanding running back, to a season-ending injury a couple weeks ago. That was a big blow for them. The Eagles have won the last 5 against the Comets. Drew Ludhart has come back at quarterback for Eastwood. He's 35 of 44, 498 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the 2 games since returning from that broken arm in the preseason. Little brother Braden has caught 14 passes, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns. Edmund Opfer is hauled in 35 passes, 493 yards, 5 touchdowns, and then Cam Shoemaker, 33 catches, 372 yards, 6 TDs, as they have been problematic for foes. And then Braden Brown is Eastwood's running back, 524 yards rushing and 11 scores. So they have a standout trio now at receiver, along with Drew Ludhart back at quarterback. A little bit different Eastwood team since Drew has come back and able to move his little brother Braden out to receiver. This is my lead pipe lock. Eastwood on the road gets it done.
I thought you might. Each team's only loss has come to an NWAL team. Mm-hmm. Genoa, week 1, lost to Archbold, and Eastwood, of course, to Liberty Center. And, you know, way back in our season preview episode, I took Genoa to win the NBC.
You going to stick with that?
Well, I've got to stick with that prediction. But something's got to give because I'm going to pick against them. So I'm hedging my bet there, okay? And I like Eastwood a lot. And Genoa, after they lost Archbold, I thought, you know what? They're going to be inconsistent. I don't know what to. Boy, I thought they really made a statement with that win over Oak Harbor 2 weeks ago. But Eastwood they're a different animal now with Drew Ludhart back. And even though they're on the road, I think that favors Genoa being at home. But Eastwood is going to be too much to handle. Give me the Eagles.
Well, then how is Genoa going to get back in the NBC race? Because Eastwood has Lake and Maumee left. Think they're going to lose one of those?
No. I picked Genoa to win the conference, but I think they lose this game. And so my conference pick is... goes up in flames. You're not going to
stick with your conference pick.
No, I'm not. But if Genoa wins this game, I lose in our pick'ems this week. But all of a sudden, hey, Strock picked Genoa to win the league. He would,
Jeez.
So I'm hedging it there.
Okay.
Putting money on each of them. I'm going to win something.
Well, maybe. Not if I come back on you here.
That's true. I
got ways to make up, though, 4.5 games here, and not too many differing picks so far this week.
Yeah.
I was hoping I could get you right there.
Nope.
I thought you'd stay with Genoa because that was your league champion at the beginning of the year.
Eastwood's got a little bit of swag about them now, man. They're believing. Not that they don't always believe, but with Drew Ludhart back, they're just a different team, man.
They are. No doubt about that. Also in the NBC this week, Maumee at Otsego. Maumee 12th in Region 10. Otsego is 13th in Region 18, just the third meeting all time. Maumee won 41-17 last year, and Otsego won 37-32 in 2023. I don't know about this one. I think I'm gonna go with Otsego in this one, though.
It's another one of my starred games. That means it's super difficult to pick. It's going to come down to a possession, a turnover, whatnot. I was really leaning Otsego, okay, and especially since they're at home, but I highlighted Maumee, and I'm going to stick with Maumee in a close one. Give me Maumee.
Okay, all right. That's where I start my comeback. Coach Rutherford, you know what to do, my man. I need that one, or that one could sink me. If I go back any more than 4.5 in the final 2 weeks, I don't know that I can rally.
I was hoping you took Otsego there because I'm looking to widen the gap.
Yeah.
This one, honestly, 50-50. This is as close as it gets. I won't be surprised either way.
Yeah. Rossford, they are at Fostoria this week. The Redmen 0-7, 0-4. Rossford is 2-5, 0-4, 19th in Region 14. Are the Bulldogs, and they're gonna get another win this week. Coach Drewsbach and the crew.
Rossford is going to get another win. It's going to be the last one of the season, but they're going to get another win this week at Fostoria. Give me my good friend Todd Drewsbach and the Bulldogs.
Rounding out the NBC, Lake is at Oak Harbor. The Rockets have some adversity. Lost the last 2 weeks, now 9th in Region 18. Can Lake go to the two-time defending champions and pick them off?
The answer to that is no, but they might hang in there. See, when you get a chink in your armor, now the other teams look at it, even though they're not the one that slayed the giant. They look at it and go, okay, they can be had. And so Lake will have a little confidence based on that, but Oak Harbor defends their home turf.
Let me ask you this. Was that game a week ago more about Eastwood, or is it more about Oak Harbor maybe not being as good as what they have been the last couple years?
Yeah, I like that question. To me, and only my opinion, says a little more to me about Oak Harbor. Okay, they're maybe not what, and this is no disrespect, but they're not what we maybe thought they were. Because after about the first 3 or 4 weeks, I thought, I know they're not last year's team, but they're close. They're not as close as I thought. So I think we learned a little more about Oak Harbor there.
Lake have a chance in this one?
No.
Okay. No?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
BVC, there's a big one there as well in a matchup of undefeated teams overall and in the conference as Leipzig goes to Liberty Benton. Both teams 7-0, 5-0 in the BVC. Leipzig third in Division 7 Region 26 and Liberty Benton sixth in Region 18 as their schedule has just not been up to snuff kind of so far for LB. LB has outscored their BVC foes 257-31. Running clocked everybody so far. Leipzig has outscored their conference foes 157-57. LB has won 5 straight against Leipzig. Leipzig quarterback Mark Kirkendall, 102 at 176, 18 touchdowns, 1,709 yards on the season. Leipzig running back Marquise Williams, 612 yards rushing, 9 TDs on 81 attempts. He's added 2 kickoff returns for scores as well. Wide receiver Avery Paris leads the BVC with 739 yards receiving with 41 grabs and 8 touchdowns. Leipzig averages 394 yards per game, and LB nets 330.9. Leipzig has the top offense in the BVC, but LB has the top defense, giving up 109.1 yards per game, while Leipzig's defense gives up almost 300 per game. 2 of the top receivers, not only in the BVC, But around the areas, you had Seth Elkert to that mix from Liberty Benton. He just hasn't had the touches that Mr. Paris has because a lot of LB's games have been over in the second quarter and some in the first quarter so far this season. This one's not as hard for me, even though it's undefeated teams. I think LB rolls, and I think there's a chance that they will put a running clock on the Vikes too. They're just different. They're on a different level than this Leipzig team right now.
Well, they are, and I'll tell you this: Joe Kirkendall knows that. Joe Kirkendall knows that. That doesn't mean they're going to prepare any less or anything. He just knows maybe they're going to have a trick or two up their sleeves. They're going to have to possess the ball, keep it away from Liberty Benton. Much easier said than done. For our followers, just a comparative score that really stands out to me. Leipzig beat Pandora Gilboa 12-7. Okay, 12-7. Liberty Benton beat that same Pandora Gilboa team 42-9.
Yeah, that was the one that really stood out to me too.
Yeah, because Pandora Gilboa is a quality opponent, and so Liberty Benton's a different animal here. Leipzig averaging 394 yards per game. I'll be surprised if they eclipse 200. That's almost 200 below their average.
You don't think they get 200 against this LB defense?
I think that's where I would set the line if I were in Vegas. And if they do, I think some of that will be late with subs in the game.
How many yards does Leipzig have to get to even have an opportunity to win this game in your mind? Do they have to get 400 like they're normally averaging?
I think.
Or do they even have to go above that to have a chance? Because how many points are they going to give up? Because Leipzig's defense, they're giving up some yards this season. 298.6. It's not like they're giving up, 250 or 225. They're giving up almost 300 a game, and this Liberty Benton offense is the best that they've seen.
Well, you look at what they're giving up, and some of that's 0-7 Elmwood, 2-5 Arcadia, 0-7 Riverdale. So they haven't, other than that Pandora Gilboa game, they haven't really been tested, if I'm being honest. Macomb's Macomb, but they're not the typical Macomb. So I think it's really going to be more about Leipzig's defense. I think offensively, Lynn, they would need 7 touchdowns to win this game.
42?
I think so. 42,
49?
Yeah, just to give them a chance. And I don't see that happening. And again, that's no disrespect to Leipzig. I think Kirkendall at quarterback and some of those other guys you mentioned, and they're well coached. We know they're well coached, but Liberty Benton, if you know, they're not a typical. You look at the Blanchard Valley Conference. There's a lot of like schools in there. Liberty Benton is, which one of these is not like the rest? It's Liberty Benton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Liberty Benton's just going to be too much in this matchup. I'm going to take the Eagles like you in that one. Pandora Gilboa, they are at Arcadia. The Rockets are 5-2, 4-3 in the BBC. 7th in Region 26. Go to Arcadia this week, and they're going to get another win there over Arcadia, I believe.
Yep, I don't have a whole lot to add to that. Give me the Pandora Gilboa Rockets to move to 6-2.
Riverdale at Elmwood. This is a matchup of winless teams. Riverdale has scored only 30 points this entire season. Elmwood has lost 19 straight. Something has to change here.
I said Pandora Gilboa, they would move to 5-3, not 6-2.
Yes.
That's my bad. 0-7, you're right. Something's got to give. And it isn't going to be in Riverdale's favor, I'll tell you that. The Elmwood Royals get into the win column Friday night.
Yeah, I like Elmwood, too, to get the win this week and snap that losing skid of 19 in a row. Going to take a break, come back and talk about the Green Meadows Conference slate this week.
High school seniors, uncertain that college is right for you? Concerned about the cost of higher education? At the Gherkin Companies, we offer rewarding livelihoods even without a degree. That's a good living straight out of high school with no tuition debt. Starting pay between recent college grads and those with high school diplomas is closer than you might think. So if you enjoy teamwork, working outdoors, and being part of something meaningful, consider your options at GherkinCompanies.com/careers.
American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store off Route 24 on State Route 109, just south of Liberty Center, now has 88 unleaded fuel and is your one-stop shop for fuel, food, drinks, and much, much more, including locally raised meats and home-baked goods. American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store is proud to support Black Swamp Football and is the host of the Black Swamp Football podcast, football show, and Saturday mornings Rise and Rewind. Stop in and see Glenn and Greg today and make American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store a part of your everyday routine. Thank you to American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store here in Liberty Center, our gracious host for our podcast, football show, and also Saturday mornings Rise and Rewind, which will be back about 9, we're thinking, this Saturday as we recap week number 8, presented by the Swanton Welding Company. Green Meadows Conference play this week. Going to start with a rivalry game. Tenora at Ayersville. Ayersville leads the River Bowl 25-23-1. They now play for a bell or something, which I never really understood because it was always the River Bowl to Ayersville and Tenora people growing up, and now it's for this goofy bell, which, whatever, they can play for a bell. That's fine with me, but whatever. When do you think the last time Ayersville has beat Tenora at home, Coach Strock?
At home, meaning at Ayersville.
At Ayersville, at Craig McCord Field.
I'm going to say 2016.
No. You're off by 11 years.
Oh.
2005.
Whoa.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
It's been 20 years since Ayersville has beat Tenora at home.
I thought I was going to be way off by saying what I said. I wasn't going to dare go back any further than that.
A lot of people would say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's it's quite a rivalry. I mean, Ayersville had a stranglehold on that thing forever.
Ayersville led the series 19-4-1 up until 2000. Ayersville won every game against the Rams from 1979 to 1990. They tied 0-0 in the first meeting in 1976 when they first met. Ayersville won back-to-back games against Tenora in 2005 and 2006, but Tenora has won 16 of the last 18. Rams have outscored Ayersville 536-78 in those 16 victories. Dominance, 536-78. This rivalry has went from the first several years to Ayersville having a stranglehold on it, and now Tenora is on the cusp of tying it up. They're just 2 back of the Pilots in the overall series, 25-23-1.
Boy, it's going to take me a minute to wrap my head around some of those numbers. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, they Ayersville went through the 80s there, never losing to Tenora, and then I think it was 1991 they played an overtime game at Ayersville. It was rained out on a Friday night because the thunderstorms came back and played it on a Saturday, and it went into overtime. And Tenora, I think that one may have been like 6-0 if I remember correctly.
See, I knew a lot of guys on both those teams.
Yeah.
That was my junior year. They were both good. Tenora was tough. That was Sean Schutte and Keith Michaelis and those guys. And then Ayersville, you had, oh gosh, I played in the Defiant 7-County All-Star game with them. Of course, I can't remember their names. Good guys.
Yeah, I know Tenora had a good running back.
Butchie Mangus was back then.
Yeah, Butchie would have played in that era. That was right after Ayersville lost to Archbold in the first round of the playoffs in 1990. And Tenora had a good sprinter that they had at running back, and I'm blanking on his name.
Tim Santos.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
He was fast.
Mikey Rollon, who played at Archbold, shared a photo just a couple weeks ago on his Facebook page in the Diller Invitational. I think it was probably would have been 1992 or probably 91 maybe. Do you remember who won the 100 that year?
Well, probably Ayersville had a sprint. No, Scott Wickman would have been older than those guys. Wickman would have been older.
Led his team to the state championship that season.
Lincoln Cobb?
Lincoln Cobb.
From Pettisville.
From Pettisville, yes.
He won it and you had Mikey Roll and Tim Santos in that 100-meter dash.
Yeah.
The track coaches would call that.
And there was a couple other. I'm gonna look it up. I got to look it up now.
Well, track coaches, if you had a group like that, they call that a hot heat. And
maybe the greatest 100-meter Diller Invitational ever.
Well, I mean, you've got a bunch of guys there running sub-11. You know, those guys are 10.7, 10.8, 10.9. Good Lord. Let
me see if I can find it here. I know I just saw it a week or two ago that Mikey shared on his Facebook page. And I think he may have been third, and he tore up Ayersville in the 1990 playoff game. I think he ran for like 2:15 on the Pilots that night at Defiance.
Yeah, Mikey Roll they loved running the sweep to him.
Here it is.
And he just raced you to the sideline. Is that the 100-meter finish?
That's 100 meters, yep.
That had to have been a photo finish.
Lincoln Cobb, Santos from Tenora, Mikey Rollon was third. Matt Langdon of Crestview was fourth. Oh, here was another one I forgot about. Nathan Rose of Montpelier was fifth. And Tony Walton of Tenora was sixth that day.
Wow.
That's a who's who of sprinters from the Northwest Ohio back in the day.
Yeah. Lincoln Cobb. Yeah.
Could have you hung with those boys in the 100?
So I was around at the NWAL meet my senior year. I ran 11.2. Pat Milne from Wauseon ran about 11.1 that day. I don't think I could have gone any faster than 11.2.
I don't know that Wauseon competed in the Diller Invitational back in those days. I don't think they did.
Yeah. But those guys, I remember all those guys. And then I mentioned Scott Wickman going back a little bit at Ayersville.
Yeah.
Him and Rob Sexton, the late Rob Sexton from Liberty Center. You know, Rob was a 10.8, 10.9 guy. And when him and Wickman would race, I mean, everybody was at the fence.
Yeah.
And people don't appreciate track and field like they should.
Right. Scott's senior year may have been 89 or 90.
Be about right, yeah.
And he almost led Ayersville to the state championship his senior year. They mishandled a handoff in the 4x100 to Scott right at the end, and he would have overcome any.
He'd have reeled him in
any margin there in the last 100 meters, or Ayersville would have won state that season. But boy, Lincoln Cobb,
100, 200, 400 long jump.
Yeah, did he win 3 or 4?
You know what? This came up before. And I thought it was 4, but I think
it's 3.
It ended up being 3. Yeah.
I know he won the 100.
Yep.
I think he won the long jump.
Yep.
And then it was either the 200 or the 400.
Yeah. And then was he second or something?
He may have been. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure that out for Saturday morning's Rise and Rewind.
Single-handedly won the state championship.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, I think they kind of changed the rules or the scoring so you couldn't do that anymore. But, yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Back to on topic here. Off script, as you know, folks that listen to us, we get, and we apologize for that. But sometimes more important business comes up. But Tenora at Ayersville, I like the Rams to continue their dominance over the Pilots.
I'm going with Tenora. Because I think
Cooper Replogle did not play a week ago for Tenora.
That was going to be one of my points. Mm-hmm. I think some of this hinges on Replogle being available for this game, because he was really stellar in that Fairview game. Mm-hmm. And they gave him some nice running lanes, but even when they didn't, he made his own.
Yeah. And if Ayersville can get, I'll say, 35 touches between Eli Berner and Dane Ewers, Pilots may take this game. They gave Paulding everything they wanted.
Yes, they did. My question would be this, and if you can't get up for this rivalry game, this backyard brawl, then you've got bigger problems. So we're going to assume both teams are up for it.
And maybe not on the level of some of the games that have been played in the past as far as GMC aspirations and playoff aspirations go, but it's still Tenora Ayersville, and it's as big as they get as far as rivalry goes.
Sure it is. I like Ayersville's chances. I really do. They're going to have to play clean. Mm-hmm. I agree. Think players, not plays. Those guys have to get touches, and the more touches they get, the greater chance they can create something. So provided those guys get touches, I wouldn't be surprised to get a mid-fourth quarter score where it's a possession either way.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But I'm gonna go with the green and white.
All right.
In that matchup.
Me too.
Hicksville is at Paulding as the Panthers try to continue their run, 7-0, 4-0 in the GMC. The Panthers have been special this season, squeaked by Fairview a couple weeks ago, got by Edgerton a week ago in another game that was pretty tight. I think this one's going to be a little bit bigger margin for the Panthers.
I do too. I was just looking to see what Fantastic 50 thought, and it's about what I thought it would be. Paulding's going to hold serve at home. Those last couple games, Lynn, that you mentioned, Fairview and Edgerton, those are games that you might not win as you're trying to build this thing, but Jim Menzie has them believing, has them where they want them, and now they're consistently winning. I like them at home.
Fairview, 7th in Region 22, is at Edgerton, who is 5th in Region 26. Fairview is going to need some help to get back in the GMC championship picture, but this one has a lot riding as far as playoff computer points go, as both are right there on the verge of getting a bye in the first round. Fairview has scored 42 and 44 on Edgerton the past 2 years, as the Bulldogs have had trouble slowing down this Apache attack, and I think that trend continues. So I like Fairview to get the win here.
I do too, and Edgerton gets them at home. I think if you're Edgerton and you're playing Fairview, you're hoping for some inclement weather. At least I would be, and I just think Fairview's a little too diverse. Too multi-dimensional. I like Fairview to get the win on the road.
Wayne Trace, they are at Antwerp this week. Two teams that are 2-5 on the season and on the back portion of the GMC standings as it goes here going into week number 8. I don't know what to make of this one. Wayne Trace seems like they're playing better here as of late, and I think the Raiders are going to get a win.
Yep, I'm going to stick with. I looked at this one for a minute, but I like Wayne Trace. I just think their body of work shows just a little bit better to me. But Antwerp's got them at home. Coach Hale will have them ready. But I like the Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders have been playing good defense. They always have been able to do that, and gave up just 10 a week ago to Tenora, but I think they're gonna have Antwerp's number this week. Western Buckeye League going to start with Defiance at Elida. Defiance 16th in Region 10. Elida is 16th in Region 14, as both of these teams badly need a win to boost their playoff resume.
Yeah, Defiance a week ago, Lynn, they had like a 3-touchdown lead on Kenton a couple times.
Yeah, last week.
And
had to win it.
Yeah,
with a 2-point try in OT.
Yeah, Coach Rittenauer said, "We're going for 2, and we're going for the win, feast or famine." And they threw a pass to convert the 2-point play and got a big road win. Man, they needed that chance to get back to 500. They hit a tough skid there. Defiance did. Unfortunately for them, they're on the road at Elida. Wouldn't be surprised if this game went either way. I just have to give a slight edge to Elida. Give me the Elida Bulldogs.
I'm in agreement there with you on that matchup. Bath, they are home this week with Salina coming to town. Bath 6-1 overall, 5-1 in the WBL. Second in Region 14 is Frank Russell's crew, and I think they stay there, maybe improve, depending on what happens in front of them and behind them. But Bath's going to get the win over Salina this week. I don't think they have any problem in this game.
Couldn't agree more, Lynn. I like Bath at home. They've climbed from the cellar of the WBL, and now they're a contender. You love to see it, and I like them too.
Shawnee trying to bounce back from that loss to Wapak. They are at St. Mary's, not an easy place to play against that wing tee, the vaunted wing tee of the Rough Riders, who can put up plenty of points and plenty of rushing yardage. 6th in Region 10 is Shawnee. St. Mary's is 10th in Region 10. big game as far as playoff aspirations go for both of them.
Yeah, absolutely a big game, and this is one of my stars. Could go either way. St. Mary's or Shawnee coming off that stinging loss a week ago. I like St. Mary's at home. I'm going to stick with them. I've kind of waffled on this one back and forth. Give me St. Mary's at home. I just think they're a little more seasoned at this point, a little more consistent.
You sure about that pick? Because I was thinking you were going to go Shawnee there, and I was going to pick one up because I got the Rough Riders. No?
I can't do it.
Yeah. I'm going with St. Mary's, too. I don't know what that loss and kind of the dismantling that Wapak did against the Indians, that one may linger a little bit for them. And I think St. Mary's is hungry, and they're going to pick up the victory in that one. Speaking of Wapak, they have Kenton coming to town who can put up the points, but they can't really stop anybody. So I got to take Caleb Moyer and the Redskins at home.
Yeah, there were years where Kenton they could play defense, didn't really care if they didn't because they'd outscore you.
Yeah, yep.
You know, but Wapak, speaking of offense, they're going to rack up some numbers Friday night. And Kenton will get what they get. I don't know what it'll be, but Wapak's going to have more.
Yeah, Wapak is second right now in the Region 10 standings. But if you look at the Region 10, there's a odds-on favorite, and that's on Cherry Street in Toledo. Central Catholic is the team that everybody has their eye on. We'll see where the Irish finish, and if they have to play in round one of the playoffs, or if they can boost up enough to get a bye. Rounding out the Western Buckeye League, OG still looking for their first win. They are at Van Wert. Van Wert 3-4, 2-4 in the Western Buckeye League. 10th in Region 14 is Van Wert, and Cougars going to get to 500 this week. They get the win over OG.
I agree with you, and especially at Eggers Stadium. But one of these weeks, and we're running out of time. This is week 8. But one of these weeks, OG's going to sting somebody. This is an opportunity for them to steal one on the road. I don't think they're going to do it, but
then they have Salina and Shawnee. Salina is probably their best chance.
Salina would be their best chance.
Unless the Titans are thinking about basketball season.
Well, there's that down there in Putnam County. I, too, like Van Wert, but I'll bet you this halftime score's close. I just have a feeling.
Can OG slow down this Cougar attack?
Yeah. Yeah,
they have some offensive weapons.
They do. They're explosive, and OG's going to have to control the ball and control the clock, but I think they have a puncher's chance in this one for some reason.
Okay. Northwest Conference. How about this matchup? Braxton Leith against that Grove defense. Crestview averages 37.3 points per game. Grove allows just 13.7. Braxton Leith averaging 9.9 yards per carry. He's getting close to 2,000. 1,822 yards, 28 TDs on 184 totes. Grove is allowing only 102.1 yards rushing per game and only 211.7 yards per game. Grove quarterback Landon Best, 79 and 133, up over 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns going in to week number 8. It's the over-under for Braxton Leith as far as rushing yards go this week.
I'll set it at 150.
Does he get 150?
Yeah.
He does.
Yep.
Does he get the win?
No. He'll get his numbers. I've got this game starred. I like Columbus Grove at home in a shootout. I was talking at the Bluffton University game on Saturday down on the sidelines with a couple of Bluffton guys. They're affiliated with the university, but they help in the press box on game night at Bluffton High School. And I said, tell me about Braxton Leith, because they played him Friday night.
Right.
And they didn't have enough descriptors to explain how physically gifted he is and how dominant he was. And these are guys, Phil Talvini, you know Phil, guys that aren't in awe. They've seen a lot of football in their lives, and they said he's just different. He's a sight to see. And so I'm going to set it at 150. I'm going to say he gets it, and Coach Schaefer can take that sound bite and use it as he will. But stopping Braxton Leith is a whole nother animal. I guess he's an absolute show to watch.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I know our good friend Kenny Stabler's witnessed him in action a couple times. Columbus Grove, 18th right now in Region 26. I don't know if they have room to lose another one.
They don't, not with LCC and Bluffton on the horizon, you know. I mean, they've got a...
If they win 2 of the last 3, are they in? Will that be enough? Or do they have to get all 3 in your mind? Just top 12 this year now.
Yep. I'm going to say they're sitting at 18th, you say?
Yep, 18th.
18, 16, 15, 14, 6. I think it's got to be LCC and Bluffton, you know, because you start to make the climb they need to make, you need some second level points. So you have like LCC's win over Division III Shawnee. You know, so that carries some level 2 points there. They're going to they need that LCC win. I'm going to tell you that right now, just because of some of the points LCC is able to give you in the second level. 18. It's a big hill to climb.
Yeah, it is. And a tough Creo here the last 3 weeks. Braxton's going to get 193 this week.
193?
193.
Okay.
He runs for 193 on the Bulldogs.
Okay.
But Columbus Grove wins 35-34.
Holy smoke. Wow. So you said 193. 193. Okay, I'm going to say 175. All right.
35-34 Grove on the scoreboard.
Okay, I'm going to go 31-28 Grove.
Okay.
Wow, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. See what happens down at Clymer Stadium on Friday night.
Yeah, Andy Schaefer, he might be mad at us for giving Leith a gaudy rushing prediction, but he can't be mad. We both picked the Bulldogs.
Yeah. What does he want?
I don't know. Can't
have it all. Does he want to hold Braxton Leith to 50 yards and lose the game, or does he want to let Braxton Leith get his and win the game?
Is there any chance they hold Leith under 100?
No.
No?
No. No. Come on. What did Marion Local hold him under 100?
No.
No. No. Come on. Come on. Columbus Grove isn't Marion Local. Use that soundbite, Coach Schaefer.
That's good stuff.
Toledo Area Athletic Conference this week, an Eden team that we witnessed last week at Whiteford. They are at North Central. Some Williams County battles going on this week in the TAC. But I got the Bombers. I think the Bombers go to North Central and pick up the win. 11th in Region 26th is Eden right now.
The Bombers will be happy to make the trip to North Central after that trip to Ottawa Lake last week. Whole different animal this week compared to what they saw a week ago.
Yeah.
Give me Eden.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Montpelier at Hilltop, another Williams County clash. Montpelier is 16th in Region 26. How about the Cadets? They've won 3 in a row.
I know.
3 in a row. 20th in Region 26, but they don't win 4. Locos get them this week. Andy Robinson, Hayden Sharps, and crew get the victory on the road.
Yeah, I too like Montpelier. I'm curious to see if Hilltop can hang around in that one.
Yeah,
and
playing with some confidence probably for the first time in a while are the Cadets. But a big one there for both teams as far as the computer points go. Also in the TAC, rounding it out, will be Summerfield, Michigan at Ottawa Hills. Going to the Village this week is Summerfield.
Got a feeling we're going to have dissension on this one. I have this game starred.
I got Summerfield.
Well, then there's no dissension. Because I do too. I'd have bet anything you were going to go with Ottawa Hills there.
No. Nope. I'm going with Summerfield on the road. I don't like what I'm seeing in Ottawa Hills this year. They're not playing very well. Now Summerfield maybe isn't either, but I think they're playing a little bit better into this matchup.
So I did a bunch of comparisons.
Did you?
Yeah, and I was just trying to find something that I could grab onto to make it ironclad one or the other, and there's nothing out there ironclad. This is truly a coin flip.
Yep.
Ottawa Hills is home, but I'm still going Summerfield.
Yeah. Is Summerfield the school that Coach Cromwell has a former player that's coaching at, right?
I believe that was
the one that he said?
Yeah,
it was one of the TAC schools. It wasn't Erie Mason.
No, it wasn't Britton Deerfield.
No. And
Summerfield. It was a TAC school.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And Erie Mason is playing Whiteford this week, which out of our coverage area, but I don't
like their chances.
Messing with Whiteford this season, are they?
I don't like their chances.
Boy, the Bobcats have a stable of running backs, and they're going to roll to the TAC championship. We'll see where they finish in the state finals. They have a chance to maybe get to Ford Field and play for a state championship, I think, do the Bobcats now.
I might be mildly surprised if they don't, to be quite honest with you.
I don't know enough about the other teams in the
same.
In the Wolverine State in that division. I know there's some good teams up there from what Coach Teakin has said, but we'll find out. Maybe I'll make a trip up to Ford Field, depending on when Whiteford gets there and when they play. I might have to make that trip up there. Maybe Tommy Eitner and Teaks can hook us up with some passes.
Yeah, I would like to be on the sideline for that one. And I think they could hook us up. I think they could.
Just throwing it out there. Tommy and
plant the seed.
Coach, if you're listening.
Plant the seed.
Yeah. If you can get to the finals, we may have to make the trip depending on what day it is and what's going on.
I would love to do that.
That would be outstanding. Catholic High School League, Central Division. Central Catholic is at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Orchard Lake St. Mary's playing pretty well, 4-1, 2-1 in the division. Central Catholic, 4 straight, 3-1 in their division. Their only loss is to Detroit Catholic Central, who is hosting St. John's, a pick we will get to here in just a second. But Central Catholic keeps rolling. They go to Orchard Lake and get the win. I'm not picking against the Irish.
Okay, I thought we would dissent here. I have this one starred. Orchard Lake could get them, especially at home.
You're even considering picking against the Irish?
Yes, for the first time ever.
In this one?
For the first time.
Did you pick Detroit Catholic Central earlier this year? Or did you pick Central Catholic from Toledo?
I think I took Central Catholic. Okay. I don't think I've ever picked against Central Catholic.
I don't think I have either. I'm not an idiot.
No, but I struggled with this one.
You did?
Yeah, just looking at some comparisons and different things. This one's going to be tight.
I think it could. I think it has a potential to be close. I do too.
I think it's gonna, but I'm gonna stick with my highlight here. I like Central Catholic.
Yeah, I'm not going against Dempsey and his crew as they start their state championship run in Division III. I think as the season progresses. Speaking of St. John's, they got to get it figured out because they have to go to Detroit Catholic Central, who is 6-0, maybe the best team in all of Michigan. 4-0 so far in that Central Division. Boy, this could get ugly for St. John's.
Yep, no doubt about it. And I was looking at Detroit Catholic Central scores today, and oh my goodness, their body of work is impressive. St. John's walking into a hornet's nest here. We'll see if they can hang in there. But they're going to need a lot of bounces their way. I like Detroit Catholic Central.
I do too in that matchup. AA division, that's where St. Francis plays. They have Dearborn Divine Child coming to the Glass Bowl. St. Francis, they need to get it figured out. They're 12th in Region 6th right now, and they have a good Divine Child team who is undefeated coming to town. I don't like what's happening at St. Francis. I know I started a little uproar earlier in the season when I said this, but I still don't like what I'm seeing out of the Knights. So I'm picking against them. Divine Child is going to roll into the Glass Bowl, and they may roll in this game. I don't know. They may roll.
Again, Lynn, there's about 4.
And then they have Central Catholic next week, a game that we thought about going to, but that's not happening now.
No, I thought we'd maybe dissent on this one too. You've gone opposite the way I thought you'd go on about 4 of these. I too like Divine Child. Again, looked at their info today and that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm taking them even at the Glass Bowl.
Yeah. St. Francis just hasn't put it together. Now, They have a chance to. They're going to have to here the last 3 weeks, but this is a tough ask for the Knights, and I got Divine Child in that matchup. Yep. Another team that's undefeated in our coverage area, North Baltimore, 7-0, 6-0 in the NWCC. They're second in Region 26. They have Ridgemont coming to North Baltimore. Our good friend Kenny Sonnenberg, I'm going to assume will be on hand for this one, and hopefully he can give us some scores on Friday night. But Tigers, they're going to keep it rolling with Ridgemont, who's 15th in Region 26. North Baltimore, another running clock, I think. Boy, they're playing good football.
Boy, they are, and they get better each week and more confident. And Ridgemont, I think they're the Golden Gophers. The Gophers. Good college buddy of mine, Bob Bame, who played at Hardin Northern, is on the staff there at Ridgemont. Isn't going to matter, though. They're walking into hostile territory. Give me North Baltimore.
Yeah, I agree with that pick. Northern 8, one game from our coverage area, is on Saturday. Stryker goes to Danbury.
This one needs little thought from me. I like the Lakers at home, Danbury.
Okay. Danbury 6-1 overall, 3-1 in the Northern 8 is getting closer to the Northern 8 playoff as the top 4 get in, semifinal round, and then the championship game will be played over at Latonia High School on November 8th at 6 p.m.
Okay. Well, it's a little bit of a jaunt from here.
The Northern 8 is bunched up right now.
Yeah.
Bunched up right now. It's at the top and going to be a fight for the playoff spots.
Yeah, it is.
In the 8-man football league here in Ohio. Going to take a break and come back and talk about the MAC slate this week. KK Collision is a leader in the auto repair industry that has been servicing Northwest Ohio's auto needs for over 27 years. We offer a fast and reliable repair option that stands above the competition. When your vehicle enters our facility, you can be assured that you have chosen the most technologically advanced repair facility in the area. KK Collision is an automotive body and mechanical shop, as well as both a light and heavy-duty towing service located in Liberty Center. Our towing services cover Northwest Ohio and the surrounding area 24 hours a day. Are you in need of a repair estimate? Visit us anytime during business hours for a free estimate at T556 Ohio 109 on the north side of Liberty Center, or call 888-533-7801 or visit our website at kkcollision.com. The Swanton Welding Company proudly supports our local student athletes and coaches. We're committed to being your local steel fabrication company in Northwest Ohio and building projects across the country. For job opportunities at the Swanton Welding Company, visit www.swantonweld.com or visit them at 407 Zider Way in Swanton. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and the Swanton Welding Company, the title sponsor of Rise and Rewind on Saturday mornings, and KK Collision, the title sponsor of our football show. This week's football show will include some military folks from Columbus Grove as they are celebrating Military Week down there at Columbus Grove. And I know Coach Schaefer's done a great job with the military aspect of things at Columbus Grove. He's got a big board that they have in their facility, their locker room, that has all the former players that went on to serve in the military, which is pretty cool little detail that he has done there.
Yeah, and I know a lot of schools have their military appreciation, but if you're looking to add some bells and whistles to it, Coach Schaefer would be the guy to reach out to.
Yeah, I think they do it as well as anybody.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Not just in our coverage area, but the state and the nation and what they do. And I know military is near and dear to the heart of Coach Schaefer.
Yep, no doubt about it.
Midwest Athletic Conference, final games we are selecting this week. St. Henry is at Delphus St. John. St. Henry second in Region 28, only behind Marion Local there. St. Henry 6-1, 4-1 in the MAC. Delphus St. John's yet to get in the win column this season. The Redskins have won their last 6 against the Jays, and I don't see that changing with what Coach Whirling is doing there with the St. Henry program. They're on a collision course at some point in Region 28 with Marion Local. Probably would be a regional final unless something drastically changes here the last 3 weeks of the regular season and the first 3 weeks of the postseason.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And St. Henry's the favorite here, no doubt about it. But if you're Coach Whirling, you know, just winning isn't going to be. They need to continue to get better, and it's, you know, what they have lying ahead of them is bigger than just this game. So they're going to want to do it and do it in a clean way.
Yeah. Also in the MAC this week, Coldwater is at New Bremen. New Bremen is 8th in Region 28 going into this one. And Coldwater, they just keep playing good football on kind of a collision course, possibly with Marion Local in week number 10. Coach in Division 6 Region 24, Coldwater stands 3rd right now at 5-2, and I think they boost their playoff standings in this one. Coldwater has not lost to New Bremen since 1997. Don't see that changing this week.
That's the year I graduated college. I've been teaching 29 years now.
Yep.
Holy smoke. Yeah. New Bremen's lost 3 in a row, I think, coming into this. Probably going to be 4 in a row. I like Coldwater on the road.
Yeah. New Bremen has lost 3 in a row. Marion Local, Fort Recovery, and then last week to Minster, and it doesn't get any easier for the Cardinals next week at St. Henry. And then they have an easier one with St. John's to round out the regular season in a couple weeks on October 24th. But I like Coldwater, and I think they're on course to set up that Week 10 clash with Marion Local. Now, they do have Versailles next week, which won't be easy.
No.
Versailles is 4-3 and has shown the ability to they can beat anybody in the MAC as they almost knocked off Marion Local a couple weeks ago. Versailles is hosting Minster this week.
That is one of my star games, Lynn. I think this is every time I pick against Minster, I get zapped.
I know. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I haven't been very, very good with Versailles, I don't think, this season either.
Yeah. And when I pick Minster, they do the opposite of whatever I pick for or against. And I wanted to pick them this week at Versailles after Versailles, they were a little hungover from that Marion Local effort.
No doubt about it. Yeah. Yeah. Versailles 10th in Region 20. They're a Division 5 team. And then Minster is 7th in Region 28. This one's big for both of them.
Yeah, it's real big for Minster.
Minster could really jump beating a Division 5 team this week.
No question about it.
But I don't think they do. Tiger ball.
Yeah, Versailles had me scratching my head last week.
I know it. I know. Yeah.
You know, and then I picked against Minster and got zapped. But I, too, am going with Versailles at home.
Anna, they're at Marion Local. 5-2 are the Rockets. 3-2 in the MAC. 10th in Region 24. Marion Local number 1 in Region 28 as they are still undefeated. Marion Local is 19-1 all-time against Anna. Even beat Anna the year they won state in 2019 with that really good Rockets program. Only time Anna has beat Marion Local was in Week 10 of the 2008 season. The next week, Marion Local beat Anna in the first round of the playoffs, so they got a little revenge for the one loss they've had against the Rockets, and not picking against Marion Local this week.
I'm not either. But
this one has a chance to be close, though.
It does. The St. Henry Marion Local game was close. St. Henry had them on the ropes. Versailles absolutely had them on the ropes. Can Anna even get them on the ropes and have a chance to deliver that knockout punch? We'll see. But again, I'm like you. I'm not picking against Marion Local.
No, can't do it. Rounding out our picks for the week, Fort Recovery is at Parkway. Parkway has not beaten Fort Recovery since 2013. Fort Recovery 10th in Region 28 coming into this week. This one's not going to get them any points, though, as Parkway is winless on the season. They are tied for 24th in Region 22 without a victory this season. Are the Panthers, and West winning gets back to their winning ways this week.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, they're just going to get a handful of first-level points, and that's it. But a win's a win. I like Fort Recovery.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Indians in that matchup as we go into week number 8. Rise and Rewind Saturday morning will be at 9 a.m. is the scheduled time at this point. That's adjustable possibly as we go through the week, but plan on 9 a.m. We'll get that out on social media for you as our concrete time will be displayed later on here in the week.
Love it.
Yeah. Week number 8, we're headed to it. 42 games on our slate this week from around our coverage area. Have a great week, and be sure to tune in to our KK Collision football show with our Columbus Grove military guys. Have a great week. We will talk to you again on Friday night as Patrick Henry and Archibald do battle from Blue Streak Stadium.